I'm starting to remember. You have a bit of an extreme side.
Kirby, first, I loved Cruella. I mean, I think in the animated version, she was a lot scarier, and I just loved all the elements of this movie, from the fashion to your character to all the other characters and the story. Um, I know Anita Darling plays a member of the press, and you kind of see the power of the press in the movie with how she moves the story along. What do you feel about the power of the press as you've moved through Hollywood and played all these excellent roles on Barry and Killing Eve and so forth?
Mm. I love that question, actually. I think in terms of press, it's like, I don't know. I think you kind of get out what you put in, essentially. You know, me personally, I don't think that my job is necessarily to sort of live my life on display. My job is to show up, be able to be a character, and allow you, the audience, to be lost in that character that I'm playing. So I think it's about what you want, right? Like if you're an influencer, then you want the press, you want people to know about who you are personally and this and that and the other. But for me as an actor, what I want, my gift, I think, to the audience is allowing them to watch me in something and see me, which I think I've been fortunate enough to be such different roles. And every time for them to go, oh, I love that character, and maybe even not even know who I am and just be lost in that. So for me, I think the press is great. And I think depending on who you are and what you do, you can sort of like, you toe that line differently.
Yeah. Estella's character speaks about her getting a job as being some happy accident that's been life changing. And I wonder, like, for you, has there been anything in your career that was kind of like some happy accident that opened up opportunity for you, or not even in your career, it could be something else,
Yeah, well, actually, I think this film was kind of a happy accident. I was working on something else when this film was meant to shoot, and then because of there were like multiple delays, that then I was not working, and then this opportunity came up to audition, and so this was kind of that kind of happy accident, because I would not have even been considered for this role because I was, locked into other things. So that was kind of a really lovely, happy accident that has, I got to work on something really amazing, and it kind of came out of nowhere.
70s. You have that glint in your eye. What glint?
So again, I love your character on Killing Eve. I love you as Sasha on Barry. Both of those projects have been nominated for multiple Golden Globes, with Sandra Oh even taking home a Golden Globe for Killing Eve for Best Actress. In light of all the controversy over the Golden Globes and their inclusion, their lack of Black members, what do you feel Hollywood in general could do to, beyond the Golden Globes, to not have segregated press opportunities where Black press could speak to all the cast and everything else, and where we're represented and the diversity is reflected from the critics as well as the press and on screen?
Mm. Well, I think one of the things I think we have to do, because I think there's a lot of congratulating ourselves for how far we've come and not recognizing how far we have to go. But I think one of the things one of the fundamentals is reassessing what we think when we think of diversity, because diversity traditionally has been Black people or a person of color, a singular person who then offers some diversity in a largely white space. I think that in itself is a kind of a slightly warped idea of what diversity is, because we don't talk about, when we talk about diversity, we don't talk about a space that is perhaps all Black or predominantly Black and there being a white person in that space. I think forcing one group to just sort of be the token within another is not necessarily diversity. I think it's tokenism. And I think in terms of like what we can do from the ground up, I think it's starting small, right? I think if you are someone who has an opportunity to leverage their power to bring someone up, perhaps bring someone that would not have been offered that opportunity. Like me personally, I worked on Queen Pins right after this, and I would not have gotten the role I got were it not for Kristen Bell going to bat for me very, very hard, you know, like talking to producers and talking to finances and this and that and the other. And I think that to me is the only way that we'll get further, is that there are some people that have a disproportionate amount of power. And if you're willing to recognize that and then use some of your power to bring other people up who aren't in those situations, that's how we can move forward. But it takes people who are in a position of power to recognize that that wasn't all earned, and that part of what we owe each other is a redistribution of that.
Yeah, I loved you as Anita, darling. I always love you on screen. And I love how you represent us. So just please keep doing all the great things you're doing, and we'll keep on cheering for you and watching. And I hope to see you again soon in person.
So keep on keeping on.